This is Talk of the Town, a weekly program featuring community events happening in and around Northeast Michigan, with your host, Nancy Smitham, and get the latest from Alpena Community College with Dr. Don McMaster. And now, today's Talk of the Town.
Good morning and welcome to Talk of the Town. I'm Nancy Smitham. My first guest today is my friend Bradley Summers from the Boys and Girls Club of Alpena. Hi, Brad.
Hi, Nancy.
Wow, been a long time since we've seen each other. You got a beard again, your hair's a little longer, and I know that's due to COVID. I understand. I'm there too. But so what's going on at the Boys and Girls Club? What's your response to COVID?
So we've since we were closed for about 2.5 months to just, you know, with all the mandates and requirements and everything that the state was putting on everybody. And then we since have reopened on June 15th, and it's a lot different now.
Okay.
You know, there's a lot of different enhanced safety protocols and policies. You know, safety is our #1 priority when working with the kids.
Sure,
so,
always has been.
Yeah, so to keep ourselves and the staff and the community at large safe, and so that we slow the spread of the COVID-19, you know, we've enhanced a lot of our safety protocols. So, you know, on a daily basis, you know, we have floater staff who actually follow behind in every room and group and sanitize all the wipeable and non-porous surfaces. We've had to completely revamp our entire building.
Sure.
Take out pool tables and take out some tables and cloth chairs, and everything is now hands-free, touch-free, a lot more sanitizing stands, and a lot more of those PPE supplies. And of course, you know, we do ask that, you know, any kid that is required that comes into our building, or any staff or volunteers, everybody has to have a mask on if we can't be within the social distancing 6 feet to 8 feet guidelines. So, you know, things look a little bit different. Currently, we're open Monday, Wednesday, and Friday. So we're open 3 days a week.
Okay.
And due to social distancing guidelines, we're only able to have between 40 and 46 kids in our building.
Wow, that's a change.
So that's a lot different.
Yes.
This time of year, we're used to seeing about 125 kids a day. So, you know, the numbers are way down. We're still seeing a lot of kids. We have quite a few kids on a waiting list to come and attend. We're doing 2-week sessions. So normally, you know, if a parent wanted to come, they could drop their kid off at 1 o'clock or 2 o'clock or 3 o'clock or, you know, at noon. But now it's, you know, between 11 and 12:30, we have drop-off times. We have better ways to communicate with the parents if the kids aren't going to be able to be there. Of course, we have enhanced screening protocols. So, you know, we have to ask, you know, we ask 4 questions to the youth and their parents every single day. We take their temperatures.
Wow.
Because we want to have that ability to contact trace if a kid was to be able to get infected, or if a parent was,
right,
or a staff member, or something along those lines. We want to be able to know exactly where we are. But you know, thankfully, knock on wood, we've been very lucky. We've only had to send a couple kids home with elevated temperatures since we have reopened, and those were, you know, just, it could have been due to the weather, it could have been due to a hot vehicle as well. But yeah, so the safety is our #1 priority moving forward.
Okay, now what about the food program and all your other essential services?
So the food program, of course, the food program is continuing.
Right.
And since the inception of the COVID-19 pandemic here in our community, we were continuing our food program. You know, we were serving about 134 families a week.
Wow.
At about almost 600 meals. So we were pretty busy with the 5-6 employees that we have. We were showing up every Tuesday and Friday so we can prepare the meals, get them ready. And we weren't just having them come and get them, we were actually delivering them to families.
Wow.
We have some families that have a very difficult time with transportation. The Alpena school system did a wonderful job with,
they did,
you know, with serving thousands and thousands and thousands of kids and their families. Sometimes we had a few kids that, you know, a few families that were having difficulties with making it to the drop-offs or to the pickups. So, you know, we were able to supplement some of that and create, you know, give them a hot meal and a weekend meals so that they were able to, you know, to have that.
Right, very good.
That, you know, that resource for them. So it was very important that we continued that. And that was the essential service that we just wanted to make sure was continuing in the community, and whatever we could do to supplement what the school system was doing, what Feeding Kids Ministry was doing, and some of the other entities. We just want to make sure that we're supporting the people of our community.
Well, good, and I'm really glad that continued because that's so important. I know you want to thank the community that has stepped up to help you too.
I mean, during this time, it's been hard, not only for us, but we know for all nonprofits and all businesses. So, anybody out there that had the ability to give and to assist us or volunteer or donate items or donate items that we were able to put into the food bags to help alleviate some of the stress and boredom of the families, like board games and hygiene items and those kind of things. And providing those essential funds to make it so that we can continue that food program for 20 weeks was huge, and we could not do it without this community. We had so many service organizations and so many businesses to step up and say, what do you need? What can we do to help? And that was extremely, extremely emotional for us because it's important. So thank you.
And what about school programming? How do you know how to do anything with that?
Well, I mean, it's being creative and unique and innovative is definitely something we're exercising. Patience and flexibility is like the biggest mantra we've had since the beginning of all this. Patience and flexibility. And once we understand a little bit more of what the school system here in Alpena is doing, we want to make sure that we're able to assist with that too. So that after school hours, if they do a hybrid with online, or if they do straight school every single day for the kids, or online / in person, or whatever it's going to be, we want to just be able to make sure that that kids have our resource to be able to help with their schoolwork. Those tutoring and mentoring opportunities are crucial. So we just want to make sure that we're there to support. So we know that it's a tough job right now. It's trying to figure out what we're going to do and how we're going to get there and how we can make the biggest impact. So once we know a little bit more of a plan of what's going on throughout just our individual community and the state, then we can actually start to develop some things to assist. And
when the school year starts, it's still going to be $10 per youth for the school year, but you're going to have to limit the amount of kids you get.
Yes. So yeah, it's $10 for the school year or $20 for the year. But as we move forward with the school year, our capacity, we're looking to expand our capacity. And of course, the news that we hear right now is not exactly the news we want to hear about. More COVID cases popping up in other states. Thankfully, Michigan's has some better understanding of how to contain things a little more. But as we look forward to the school year, we're hoping that we can open it up for more kids. So at least if it's just the kids that go to school on that day that are being bused or what it is, we just want to make sure that we want to have the biggest impact that we can, and we know that a lot of kids need our resource.
Yes.
So it's important for us to be open, and of course we want 100 kids a day, but we have to make sure that people are safe and that we're following guidelines, mandates, and requirements, and making sure that that we're doing what we need to do.
356-0214 if anyone has any questions.
Yep.
Thank you, Brad. So good to see you.
Thank you. Nice to see you too.
I'll be right back with some information from Huron Humane Society following these messages. Hi, welcome back. As promised, my last two guests are both from Huron Humane Society. I have Caitlin Tree and Cindy Johnson. Good morning and welcome back.
Good morning. How are you?
I'm doing very well, thank you. And I understand you're having a pop can drive.
Yes, we started that a couple of months ago, and we're going to continue that way into the future.
Okay.
During COVID-19, we have to figure out other ways to raise funds.
Yes.
And so we'll do anything we can to keep our doors open.
And where do we drop the pop cans?
Right outside the building. We
Okay.
have a couple of wagons out there, but anywhere outside the building, and staff will grab them from there.
That's a great idea because so many people had to hang on to all the returnables, or a lot of people threw them away, but I'm a recycler. I just couldn't in good conscience throw them away. So I do have a bag that I'll bring to you.
Okay, thank you so much.
You are so welcome. Food pantry.
Food pantry. We have a food pantry for people who may be struggling. I know a lot of people right now have issues and just
Yes.
can't make ends meet, but still want to take care of their animals and keep them. So if you need help feeding your animals, we can help you right now. Right now the pantry is relatively full, so if you need it, call us. We will get you what you need.
Very good. And now, Cindy, with COVID and all the changes and everything, what is the protocol now for adopting a pet?
The board has opened up the facility a little bit, but everything we're doing is still by appointment, so that
Okay.
we limit the number of people in the building, but we're letting more people in the building, and we've kind of opened it up to volunteers a little
Okay,
bit more.
good.
So if you have volunteered for us in the past and want to get back to it, call us and we'll set it up
Okay.
so that we can get you back in. 'Cause we have lots of cats and kittens that need socializing and attention, so we could really use some volunteers to come back.
Okay. And Caitlin, speaking of that, you brought two beauties with you today. Tell me about the kittens.
This is a little girl named Pumpkin. She's about 8 weeks old. She is ready to go now. She came all the way from Missouri, I believe.
Yeah.
And this is Pez. He is a couple weeks older than Pumpkin. He came in, he's the last of his litter to go, so he's looking for his home. He's a beautiful peaches and cream kitten.
He is beautiful.
And then both of them are ready for adoption. Right now you get a free spay-neuter voucher with us to go anywhere in Alpena to get them done for free, and when they get their spay-neuter surgeries done, you can bring that back and we'll refund you $50.
Wonderful. Okay, and what about dogs? Do you have any dogs currently?
Currently, we still have Stanley. Stanley's a really good dog. He came from kind of a really bad situation. He came in kind of starving to death. We've got him back. He's healthy. He's been neutered. We've been working on his manners, but he's a really, really good dog. He's about 3 years old. He needs somebody to take him under his wing. He just wants to be with people. He actually, I shouldn't tell you this, he got out of the yard one day and he just came to stay by us. We were out working on pop cans and it's just like, hello. So he's kind of attached to us, and he's just a really good guy.
And what kind of a dog is he?
He's kind of a, he's a pit mix, but it looks like he has some lab in him.
Okay.
He's kind of got the big lab head on him, but he's just a really good guy.
Okay, so what will we have to do to bring Stanley home?
Come and fill out the application. If you have any other animals, he does really well with other animals. Come and do a meet and greet. See if he fits in your family. Stanley does, and he doesn't bite. He was thrown in a backyard, so he doesn't know how to play. So he kind of like love nibbles.
Okay.
So we've been replacing, when he does that with a toy and stuff, and he's getting that. Oh, they don't want me to do that. But it's never vicious.
Okay.
It's just his way of playing. He jumped a lot. We have really worked on that. He doesn't do that like he used to. He knows basic commands. You can get him to do everything. He loves to walk on a leash. I mean, he's just a really, really good guy. So if anyone's out there and wants to add him to their family, please contact us.
Okay. And now donations and donors.
Donations, we can always use donations of, supplies, and wet cat food is always a big one. But we do what we do by the grace of our donors, and we appreciate them. So if you have extra cans or extra dollars, here and there, if you can send them our way, then we can continue to do what we do at the Society.
Okay, and that's the most important thing, because your big fundraisers that you rely on every year you weren't able to hold. So it's so important that the community
very important.
still steps up to the plate and helps
So,
with
and
those
as
things.
far as fundraisers, we'll keep looking at different ways to do that. We're still looking at holding some sort of gala, but it all depends on what happens with COVID-19.
Okay.
Because our goal is that everyone stays safe. So
Okay.
we'll just try to be innovative about how we raise funds to
And
help.
it said you're going to bring back some volunteers now.
Yep, so if volunteers are out there and they want to call us and get back in and start helping us, for an hour, 2 hours, whatever, call us. We will get you back in.
If you want to call 10 of your best friends and say, hey, would you
Yeah.
each donate $25, that would be a good volunteer thing to do.
It would be fantastic.
Yes, it would be.
Absolutely, thank you.
And retails, what about retails? How are we doing?
Retails is open. People come in just to go into retail, so if you want to do that, you can make an appointment. If you happen to come by and think, oh, I would really like to run in there, the phone number's on the whiteboard outside the door. Just call the number. If we have enough people or not enough people in the building, where we can let you in, we'll let you in to shop in retails as well.
Okay.
Yeah.
And just with the hot weather we've been having, people please give your dogs some shade and make
Please.
sure that they have water. If they're outside animals, if you're thirsty, you can bet they are.
Yes, and be careful with the animals when you walk them on the hot pavement.
Oh, yes.
You can burn their paws. So yes,
Okay.
be safe.
Yep. So, and what's the best number for someone to call if they want to be a volunteer or drop off that wonderful donation?
Huron Humane Society's phone number is 356-4794.
Okay, we still have about 2 minutes left. Are there any other adoption events coming up, or how did the last one go?
The last Bissell event went okay. It went okay. There were other events going on at the same time, so
Okay.
you know, we were competing, but we still moved cats. So
Okay,
and
good.
that's our goal. We have opened PetSmart has opened their adoption center again. So
Okay.
we took 5 cats over there, and in 2 days they were gone.
Oh,
And that
good.
helps us because when we use that program, then we can bring in more animals. And
Right.
there's a lot of kittens out there right now that will be coming in again. People kind of give us a heads up. What they have and let us know when they're bringing them, and it's kind of like a non-stop adventure at the
You know,
society.
and as a pet owner, that's your responsibility
Yeah.
to spay and neuter, so
Yeah.
please don't make it be Huron Humane Society's responsibility in our
Yes.
community.
Yes, and we agree. Spay and neuter helps control the unwanted pet population so that this doesn't have to happen.
Yeah.
So
And Caitlin, how do we see all the adorable adoptables? What's the best way to see them?
You can go on www.huronhumanesociety.org, and I update them every single day. Like the second an animal comes in, I try my best to put it right on there. All of the updated animals are on there, so what you see on the website is what we have at the shelter.
Okay.
and our Facebook page is a great way to
Okay.
get updates on animals. We try to put a couple up every day, and they're always coming in, so we always have new ones.
So good to see both of you. I look forward to talking to you next month, and hopefully, you know, you've come up with some creative ideas and some anonymous donors giving you lots of money to
Oh,
keep
that'd be
everything going.
fantastic.
I would be.
Thank you for having us.
Thank you
Thank
both
you.
very much. Please stay tuned for Dr. Don McMaster following these messages.
Greetings, everyone, and welcome to Talk of the Town. I'm Dr. Don McMaster, I'm president of Alpena Community College, and I'm pleased to have as our guest this morning Tim Kuhnlein, ACC Social Sciences instructor.
Good morning.
Tim, you do marvelous things for the college, and everyone knows in the community the good works you do there as well. And one of the things you're doing at the college that I admire a lot and enjoy is the Campus Beautification Project. You're leading it. So tell me about that, what motivated you, and your thoughts.
Well, it's first of all, it's all a pleasure. Just being involved in community, and particularly from my position at a community college, is really just a pleasure, and I'm so fortunate to be where I am. So it's wonderful to be able to give back in a variety of ways. You know, a lot of people, I think, probably wonder what my fascination is with arts and promotion of arts and culture, because I'm a political science and history instructor, and they just seem like totally different realms. But there's actually a really strong synergy there. I come at the perspective of politics and history from the civil society vantage point, and it's all about promoting a culture of engagement and awareness. And there's no doubt that art and culture are a big part of enhancing that environment and making quality of life, regardless of our politics, such an important part of the forefront of our existence. And there's no question that throughout history, art has reflected politics.
Mm-hmm.
It's tried to affect politics. Art is political in many respects. Life is political if we understand politics broadly. So for me, these worlds come together in a very important way, and it's kind of a nice way of getting beyond politics as normal and doing something for community to get past the fray. You know, art can be controversial, but I think that when you really step back and look at it from the vantage point of it being about enhancing the aesthetics of our environment, just like you would in your home, it's just as important in the workplace and in the community. We create space where people want to live and work and play and stay.
Yeah, that's well put, all of that. You know, when I started in the presidency, I had a desire. I'm not an art-inclined person. Really, I can't really make it art, but I enjoy it, and I can respect people who have that vision. But the college had an opportunity, I thought, with its many walls, and to create something that other people call ambient learning.
Right.
Which is what you just said, an environment where curiosity can be awakened, things that are happen outside the classroom that engage people and get them to think and get them to be open to learning. And that's, I think, what you're doing.
Well, and it's not just me. As you know,
Yeah.
there's a whole slew of people. You know, the beautification of campus has a long history, certainly in the last 3-4 years. Nick Breggy, the facilities manager, and upper tier administration thought it beneficial to create a beautification committee. So I'm part of that, and they've pretty much created the perspective, and I'm just helping push it along, perhaps too aggressively for some. But nonetheless, it's time, and we've got, as you say, opportunity. You brought to the forefront the idea of ambient learning, not just beautification, and with some dialogue going on at other community colleges and whatnot. So we've been able to capitalize on that, and you know, it's some people would say, is this the opportune time to do it, given everything else with the pandemic and whatnot? But we have to move on, and we have to look to a brighter future. This too will pass, just like 100 years ago. Who would have ever imagined
Right.
that 100 years after the previous major pandemic, all would happen that happened. And so we're here, and just being careful. The maintenance and custodial staff have been tremendous, and making this happen.
You are right about that. They have done a great job. The pandemic essentially closed campus to just a handful of folks in mid-March. We opened our buildings back open to the public on Monday, requesting people wear masks, but it's unprecedented. And during that time, there's been a lot of change.
Yeah.
And you know, the postering, the artwork on the walls. What are some of the highlights that you would like to?
Not to mention the technology. I mean,
Oh,
part
yeah.
of the ambient learning now is just walking through the halls now to look at our classrooms. There's 2 television screens in every room practically because of the remote delivery that we're
Video
going to engage.
conferencing.
That's part of creating an ambient space for effective learning. You know, we're basically approaching this from 4 different sort of perspectives: student artwork, community artwork, both on loan and donated to a permanent collection, and then campus sculptures and what we call community boards, because it's not all about art, it's about culture and engagement, and those community boards promote events, things that are happening on campus in the community for people to get engaged with. The artwork is just creating that physical space, that physical surrounding, the aesthetics for those engagements.
Are there any particular pieces that you are more fond of?
Well, you know, what I really like most is it's designed to be a rotating exhibit for the most part, other than the major murals that are going up. These are large-scale murals. High-quality, professional-grade, museum-quality murals. But I like the idea of merging the student artwork and the community artists in a rotating exhibit.
Yeah.
Some of the work is being donated, so it will be housed in the college permanent collection, but we can still rotate it and intersperse it with new artists and new artwork. That's kind of fun because it keeps the conversation alive. It prevents this from becoming static.
Indeed, I walk the halls every day, and there were things on the wall that had been there 15 years or 20 years.
The paint colors are changing, and rather than arguing about politics, we can argue about paint colors, and it's kind of fun. The diversion
Yes.
is appreciated.
Yes, yes, indeed. And It's just, I think it inspires people and it gets them thinking in a positive way, and it's all good.
That really is the point, to spark conversations and get people thinking outside their routines, their boxes, inspiring thoughts. It'll be interesting to see as we become more open to the public, reactions.
Yeah.
That's what it's kind of all about in a way.
Absolutely. Well, thank you for your leadership in this
My
area and what
pleasure.
you do for the college and what you do for the community. It's
My
appreciated. And thank you folks for watching Talk of the Town. We'll see you again next week.
This has been Talk of the Town with your host, Nancy Smitham and Dr. Don McMaster. For a list of community events taking place in Northeast Michigan, please visit our website at wbkb11.com and click on our community link. This has been a Thunder Bay Broadcasting Corporation production.